Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are live from Homestead with the BRR Cup Series, race number 2 of the new season. As the cars are out, they've got just over 10 minutes left in practice, and some really fast lap times being laid down by Harley Barletta, Jeremy Root, James Harris, Jody Ogden, and many, many more. As week number 2 of the new season commences, don't forget, immediately following this race, we will have the Fast and Fun ARCA series, and I'm willing to bet that a few of the names you're seeing here, you're going to see in that race as well, including that car right there. That is James Harris. You'll probably see Harley Barletta out there as well, possibly Jared Heasley, and many, many more. So a lot of crossover between these two leagues, and ought to make for a great night of racing. Now, the Cup cars are taking on Homestead here tonight, and then the ARCA cars are going short tracking at Richmond. So ought to make for an interesting night. I guarantee you, if somebody gets frustrated on track here, they may very well, it may come back out at Richmond, or what happens at Richmond could carry over until next week. So you just never know what's going to happen with this many great drivers racing together. Now, the trucks took on this track last night, and it was a very interesting race. Only one caution on lap number 1. After the green flag dropped again for the restart, 95 laps of green flag racing. The track is hot tonight. Let's take a quick look. Track temperature now is down to 108. It's actually came down since the start of practice. It was 115 degrees. Air temperature staying the same, 77 degrees. But this mile-and-a-half oval could make things very, very interesting for some of these drivers here tonight. It'll be a great race to watch. Few new names in the field, a few guys that weren't here last week for Daytona, like Bill Percy back in the saddle, Scotty Too Hotty, Scott Snodgrass back out there. And an interesting side note to this one, didn't get to see it last week, but Eric Stoy is running in the Hulk car tonight, and Topher Baltimore is in his Thor car again. So Hulk and Thor on track together. That could make things a little bit interesting. Harley Barletta still the fastest car on the track, and you saw him be a force to be reckoned with last season. Will he be again this season is the question. Hey Harley, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, how's it going, Doug?
Hey, man, that's not the right way to enter pit road. I thought I'd tell you that.
I wasn't trying to enter pit road, homie. I was just trying to get out of the way, put myself in the wall.
I gotcha. All right, so Homestead and a very hot track, but you're quite fast right now.
Yeah, I haven't run here in the day before, and with the recent updates, it took me probably 12 laps to actually figure it out. But yeah, I think we should be good tonight. I'm really excited.
Now, you're going to be up there running. You got some new competition up there, what with Jeremy Root, and I know you've run with James Harris before. You can be able to keep Harris in your rear view mirror.
Wait, why is James in here?
That's classified, I could tell you, but
I thought he was running trucks.
That's a whole nother ball game. He's too high I rating. So you're a little bit surprised by seeing James Harris, huh?
Yeah, completely surprised. But it's okay because I like running with James. He's a good dude, and he's real quick and clean.
Well, hopefully you can keep that car in front of him all night tonight, man. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, man. We'll see you later.
And a bit of a surprise for Harley Barletta that James Harris is in here. There is Topher Baltimore in the Thor car. And show off some of the new paint schemes for this week. Richie West in his San Francisco paint scheme. And I was hoping, here he comes, Brian Oshinska coming onto pit road in his old school Batman and Robin paint scheme. Very awesome paint scheme right there. Batman on one side, Robin on the other. And when he comes off pit road, we might be able to get a little bit better look at it. Yep, he decided to stay in the pits. Mark Nelson out on track as well. Jared Heasley, tonight's race sponsor, out there on track. And Jared ran in the truck race last night. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Hey, Jared, this is Doug. You got me?
What's going on, Doug?
Hey, okay, first question. You ran the trucks last night. Now you're in the Cup car. Very similar or very different?
They're pretty similar. The truck was looser than this thing is. Has more of a happy back end, but a little more comfortable in the Cup car.
I'm noticing, still seeing a lot of guys getting really loose up off the corner, especially on cold tires. The High Line was the place to be last night. Does that seem to be where you're going to want to be tonight?
Well, I think one of the reasons why we come to Homestead is to mix it up. And I know some of the guys that raced last night were able to run the middle and even the bottom, guys like Jody. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. I know where I want to be, and that's going to be against the wall. So I hope the High Line's the fast one.
All right, well, good luck tonight. You're currently 7th fastest, but you got some really fast guys up there in front of you. Anybody you're really worried about tonight? Hang on to it, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little right-hand turn right there. Harley's going to be the guy to beat at a track like this. And I think we have some really quick cars in the field with Jeremy and James showed up tonight, so it'll be fun to watch the broadcast and watch them, because I won't be able to watch them from where I'm at.
I will have to tell you, interviewing Harley, he was like, oh no, James is here? So Harley might even be a little concerned about James here tonight.
Well, he's fastest so far, so I think he'll be all right.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Hopefully you get a top 5, maybe even the win here tonight.
Yeah, we'll do what we can.
All right. Jared Heasley, tonight's sponsor, and saying the sponsor is for the HTSAI setup shop. You can find the link to that at htsai.net, and we have all of our free setups in Discord. Brandon Springer running a Jif peanut butter paint scheme, and that was just kind of funny. Everybody's gotten a huge chuckle out of that one tonight. Greg McDaniel in the Kim Bowling. He is one of the sponsors of the truck series, and that bowling theme is on the entire truck series. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel out there about to get hit. I think that might be Mike Smith. Mike Smith, one of the fastest car trucks in the field last night. Looks like he is struggling a little bit here in the Cup car tonight. And, of course, the return of Scotty to Hottie. Haven't seen him in BRR in a while, but you recognize that name from the Tyler Daniels Racing versus Nowski Nation series, which does return this Friday night. You're not going to want to miss that. Take a moment while they are finishing practice. You have just enough time to go hit the snack bar, get a drink, get something to eat, and while you're standing in line, hit the share button like Jason just hit the wall. Bill Percy finishing his warm-up, getting a little bit loose. That is going to be a common theme in the trucks last night. They were really loose on cold tires. About the first 2 to 3 laps, a lot of guys getting loose up off the turn, especially guys running on the bottom. A lot of guys finding interesting parking spots here on the front straightaway. The trucks were loose early on, and then later in the middle of the run they tightened up a bit, but later in the run they got loose again. You heard Jared say, hey, it's a little bit better than it was in the trucks last night, but you're still going to see a lot of that loose on cold tires, loose on old tires tonight. Hey, there's Batman and Robin. Batman on one side, Robin on the other. Look for Brian's paint schemes this season for a variety of different things. He was running a Miami Vice truck last night. That was pretty cool. Just a few cars left on track as practice comes to a close, and they will go run their qualifying. We'll check the temperature as well once they start qualifying, because that was a huge factor last night. The changing temperature as the track got worn in became a big deal. The track temperature started going down throughout the race. Track temperature currently still 105 degrees, 77 still the air temperature. As it looks like Brandon Springer is the first one off pit road. James Harris pulling out. Topher Baltimore, aka Fat Thor, pulling out. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel pulling out on track. Jason Rome in the KTM car coming out. Jody Ogden. Of course, Harley Barletta out there. Mike Smith out on track in his new air gas paint scheme. Bill Percy rolling out on track as well. Eric Stoy is in the Hulk car tonight. Mark Nelson in a Fanatec paint scheme. James Harris coming down the back straightaway in the Avalanche paint scheme. And of course, Jared Heasley in the HTSAI paint scheme. Richie West in the San Francisco paint scheme. Greg McDaniel in the Go Bowling Kim Bowles paint scheme. Jeremy Root in the, I believe that's the Root Motorsports team paint. And looks like we're going to have a full field here tonight. 19 cars going to take the green flag, it looks like. Currently, Harley Barletta has the fastest lap, but Jason Rome just put in a fast one. He is currently sitting third fastest. Mike Smith, fourth fastest. Jody Ogden, second fast. Jeremy Root just came in and put down the fastest lap so far with a 33.03, 2/100ths of a second faster than Harley. And there is Scotty Too Hottie out there in his paint scheme for Scotty Too Hottie Designs. Looks like we've got one or two that have not taken to qualifying. Brian Oshinska now pulling the Batman and Robin paint scheme off. Looks like John Schmidt might be taken to the track. Waiting to see what he has loaded. Looks like he might be having some connectivity issues. Almost everybody has finished qualifying or is on track to do so. Graham Nucky is not taken to the track to qualify yet either. Scott moved up his qualifying time quite a bit. He is currently seventh fastest. Brian Oshinska getting up to speed now. He's still got one more lap to get it done. Graham Nucky and John Schmidt, neither have been on track yet. Looked like John was on pit road but did not get rolled off. Looks like Brian and Scott will be the last two to finish qualifying. Hopefully Brian will get a quick lap here and start towards the front. Kellen Mitchner, last week's winner, not in the field here, and that last week was a first for BRR, a race at Daytona with 0 cautions, went green to checkered. Will we see it again here at Homestead tonight? Almost saw it last night. Question is, will they be able to repeat that performance here in the Cup cars? And qualifying is done and time to grid with Jeremy Root and Harley Barletta on the front row. Jody Ogden and Jason Rome on the second row. Mike Smith and Greg McDaniel on the third row. Scott Snodgrass and James Harris on the fourth row. Eric Stoy and Brandon Springer rounding out the top 10. Then you have Jared Heasley and Richie West, 11th and 12th. 13th is Bill Percy. 14th is Mark Nelson. Brian Oshinska, 15th. Nicole Kriesel, 16th. 17th is Topher Baltimore. John Schmidt is 18th. Graham Nucky is 19th. Not sure about John and Graham gridding yet. As they begin to roll off of pit road. Looks like Graham Nucky did not grid, so he will not be in the field tonight. Waiting on confirmation on John Schmidt, though. Looks like John Schmidt was on pit road, but had a bit of a blink. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Meanwhile, up front, they are getting lined up and ready to go. Out of turn number 4, the pace car will drop off and they will go racing. Jason Rome getting a little wiggle in there, getting some heat in the tires. Jody Ogden down there on the bottom. He ran the bottom line, one of the few guys to run the bottom line all night last night in the trucks. Be interesting to see if he tries that again here tonight in the Cup cars. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away. Jeremy Root leading them into turn number 1. And it looks like we might have had a little bit of a stack up mid-pack. Everybody gets up to speed, though. It looked like Scott had to get out of it just a little bit. As they come out of turn number 2, everybody keeps them going the right way. And it looks like James Harris was looking to make a move early. Hasn't got there. The 30 car in the wall. It's Greg McDaniel. Oh, James Harris gets hit by Mike Smith. Everybody gets checked up behind him. Everybody keeps going the right way. James Harris holds on to that car. Eric Stoy all over the back bumper, but they keep him going the correct direction. Meanwhile, Jeremy Root up front. Harley Barletta in second. Starting to open up a little bit of a gap on Jody Ogden. And Scott back in 11th place. He was looking way, way low through the back, down the back straightaway, trying to make something happen. Jared Heasley just got into the wall. And they are going 2 and 3 wide down these straightaways, trying to make something happen here early. Harley Barletta going for the lead on the high side out of turn number 2. I expect to see this battle continue all season long. Jeremy Root, Harley Barletta, except I expect to see James Harris and a few others up in this battle as well. Harley Barletta to the lead last time by. He was faster than Jeremy Root by just over a tenth of a second, excuse me. On a 1.5 mile high banked oval, that does not seem like much, but it really, really is. As they are fanned out all over the place, coming off of turn number 2. Brandon Springer down low. Brandon Springer starting to make his way forward. He started in 10th. He is up to 8th now. Eric Stoy, another one that's picked up a couple of spots since the start. Jared Heasley making some moves down on the bottom. He goes under Bill Percy. He's going to take 12th place as they're almost 3 wide. There's Richie West right in front of him. Richie was one of the top contenders at the end of the last season during the playoffs last year. And Scott is making some real power moves. He was one of the guys that got checked up early on in the race. He had dropped all the way back to about 12th place. He's now back up to 8th, trying to make his way forward. Another guy that was caught in that early chaos, James Harris, got a little bit of a bump from the inside. He has now picked up 3 spots back up into 5th. And meanwhile, Harley Barletta has already opened up a 1-second lead. Past Jeremy Root just about a lap ago and has already started laying down a little bit of a gap. Meanwhile, Jody Ogden in 3rd. 4th place, Jason Rome trying to run these guys down, and it looks like Jody might actually be closing on the top 2. Oh, hi, Becky. Jason Rome currently running in 4th. James Harris in 5th, about to come under attack by Eric Stoy. Eric down on the bottom in the Holt car. Brandon Springer has picked up 3 spots already. Probably the biggest mover so far, one of the biggest movers so far, and he has made some terrific power moves and avoided a lot of chaos. And I think it has something to do with that peanut butter all over the car. Maybe it's helping his tire stick. Another guy up 3 spots already, Richie West. He started at 12th. He is up to 9th. Mark Nelson started in 14th, up to 11th. And Topher Baltimore has started picking up a few spots. He is now up to 16th. Meanwhile, out front is Harley Barletta. 1.5 second lead now. Jeremy Root currently in 2nd. Ogden in 3rd. Rome in 4th. Eric Stoy has gotten past James Harris and taken 5th place. And I'm wondering, James did not have that hard of a hit, but he slowed down, lost a lot of momentum, and now he's suddenly going backwards. Gotta wonder if that car has a little bit of damage to it. Eric Stoy, Brandon Springer, both going by James Harris. Now Eric up to 5th, trying to run down Jason Rome. Jason half a second ahead, and Brandon Springer looked like he might try a move on Eric. Decided not to. He's going to stay there in the draft. And a 2-wide battle, Scotty Too Hottie, Richie West. Richie West gets by on the bottom. And again, we saw Jody Ogden be dominant down on the bottom last night. We'll have to wait and see if that bottom line plays out. The high line tends to be the momentum line, but somehow or another, some of those guys really made it work last night. You heard Jared Heasley say he'd hoped the top line, that's where he wants to run, and that's where he has stuck so far. Harley Barletta continuing to extend his lead. No, he has lost some ground. Jeremy Root actually starting to close in on him, down to 1 second. Jody Ogden 1.2 seconds back. Eric Stoy in 4th place. He has gotten past Jason Rome. Jason's starting to fade just a little bit here. One of the things noticed last night is after 10 laps, the tires really start to go away, especially as hot as the track is tonight. Brandon Springer in 6th has been making his way forward with Eric Stoy, but he has lost touch with Eric Stoy, and now James Harris is coming to try and reclaim one of the positions he lost. Mark Nelson just about to crack into the top 10 in the 86 car, up on the high side. Scott, little struggle there on the bottom. And now Mark Nelson, biggest mover so far, started in 14th up to 10th, just steadily marching his way forward. Harley Barletta's lead has started to dwindle just a little bit. 3/4 of a second now. Jeremy Root starting to close in. You have to wonder, did Jeremy take it a little bit easy on those earlier laps and save some tires? Jody Ogden in 3rd place. Eric Stoy is marching towards the front. Eric up 6 spots. He started in 9th, now underneath Jody for 3rd. He is definitely Hulk smashing his way through the field here tonight. Speaking of superheroes, Thor is picking his way up now up to 15th. Looks like Topher had a little bit of trouble early on, but he is starting to make up ground as the tires wear in. Definitely wants a better race than what he had last night, getting involved in that first caution, and pretty much ended his night. Jeremy Root now right almost to the back bumper of Harley Barletta, but Eric Stoy continuing to march forward. Ogden in 4th and Jason Rome now in 5th. Meanwhile, Brandon Springer, James Harris continue to battle side by side. Let's hop in Brandon's peanut butter car, see if anything's dripping on the track. And you can see, looks like James has a little bit of damage as they drop down to the bottom. Brandon trying to get underneath James. He's got him by a nose at this point. Both of them looking for Jason Rome. Momentum is definitely on the high side off the turn, but that bottom line is so much faster through the turn. And Brandon has to get out of it. He started to push up, almost got into the back bumper of James Harris there. Now James Harris clears him, and there goes Richie West as well. And let's take a quick look here as Harley Barletta has to start fighting for the lead. We'll check after the tire changes as well, but let's take a look and see what kind of speeds these guys are running off of turn number 4. 170 at the line. Gets up to about 174 miles an hour. Till off into the turn, losing quite a bit of speed, having to check up. A lot of these guys are getting on the brakes just a little bit, 5 to 10% of brake just to set the nose, help the car rotate, and then they pick up the speed in the middle of the corner and carry more speed up off of it. Looks like that might be what Jeremy Root's doing here. Jeremy Root now with the draft off the back bumper. Almost 180 miles an hour. I guarantee you, we look at it after they get fresh tires, we're going to see in excess of 185. But after 20 laps, those tires really starting to wear as Jeremy Root now to the inside on Harley Barletta down the back straightaway. He got the run down into turn 1. Couldn't get the job done yet, but he is held inside. Carries some momentum, drifting up just a little bit out of turn 4 and takes the lead back. Jeremy Root started on pole. He is now up to, had dropped back. He was a 1.5 seconds behind Harley Barletta after just a couple of laps. Has now reclaimed the lead, but both of these drivers need to be worried about that car right there. The 4 of Eric Stoy. He started in ninth and has made his way all the way to third. He is 1.3 seconds back, and he is closing. Now, depending on tire and fuel strategy, these guys have a 70% fuel load here tonight. Depending on the strategy here tonight, some of these guys we might see hit pit road around lap 30. Jody Ogden holding on to fourth. Richie West is definitely another car on the move. He's up to fifth after starting in 12th. Mark Nelson also continuing his march towards the front. He is now up to ninth and in search of Brandon Springer in eighth. And he's going to get a twofer off turn 4. Oh, can't get the line to the outside. Dropping back down to the inside, trying to find a line. Has to check up just a little bit. Jason Rome almost getting into the back bumper there. Drop in the chat. Let us know who you're cheering for tonight. Let us know who you think is going to win this one. Harley Barletta. Actually, this is not very commonly seen on these kind of tracks. Harley Barletta is losing ground to Jeremy Root. And Eric Stoy is gaining on Harley. Jody Ogden still hanging on in fourth, has managed to keep the gap pretty even between him and Eric. Jared Heasley now up to fifth. Jared started in 11th and has made his way progressively forward and just snuck his way up into the top 5. All right, before they go to pit road, we're going to try this again. We tried this last week. Nobody commented. Let us know what you think. Turn your speakers up and enjoy. As this 4-car battle playing out, looks like it is Bill Percy with Jason Rome, Greg McDaniel, and it looks like Mike Smith also in that. Mike qualified fourth. He has been fading. He did have an issue early in the race last night. He just burned his tires up too early, he said, but look for him on the second run to start advancing his position a bit. Meanwhile, Jeremy Root out front has now opened up a 2.3 second lead over the guy who is going for second right now, Eric Stoy, to the inside of Harley Barletta. Can't complete the pass quite yet. Harley up on the high side. Eric Stoy down on the bottom. Still side by side on the back straightaway. Neither one of these drivers giving an inch, and it's impressive that Eric is holding that bottom line so well on these old tires. It looks like Eric Stoy is going to clear him out of turn 4. Move Eric Stoy to second. During that battle, Jeremy Root opened up more of a lead. Now 2.75 seconds, and it is time for Eric Stoy to run him down. There you can see a little bit of the gap. There is Jeremy Root. When they come down the front straightaway, you'll be able to see just how big that gap is. 2.7 seconds right now. As here comes Jeremy Root to lap Nicole. That's what she said, Creasel. Off turn 2, there is the gap from Jeremy Root back to second place, Eric Stoy. Last time by, Jeremy actually put a little bit of distance on Eric Stoy. Now Harley Barletta is about to be passed for third by Jody Ogden on the bottom. Jody continuing to hold on to a top 3 position, but Harley Barletta fighting back for every position here. And 3 wide briefly, Nicole getting down to the bottom. Jeremy Root at lap 33 continues to lead. Lap times have fallen off by a full 2 seconds at this point from where they started. Jeremy Root's best lap was a 33.22. His last lap was a 35.12. And Harley Barletta still managing to hold Jody Ogden off, but for how much longer? It seems like that bottom line has been the place to be tonight in the Cup cars, as a lot of these guys making that pass down on the bottom. Jody Ogden was the dominant driver on that bottom line last night in the trucks. And how about Richie West, who is now up to 5th place, has steadily made his way forward after starting at 12th. Mark Nelson has picked his way up to 7th after starting at 14th and continues to work his way forward. James Harris started in 8th, currently running in 8th, involved in that early incident, just keeping the car going the right way. Greg McDaniel in 9th, Jared Heasley currently running in 10th. Jared had been as high as 5th, but looks like he might have ate his tires up a little bit too soon as well. He has started to fall back. In about 5 laps, I would expect to see, nope, I called it a little too late. Brian Oshinska, the first car to come to pit road. I was expecting around lap 40 to see a lot of these guys start to hit pit road, make it a two-stop race, but Jason Rome also coming to pit road. And now that some of the mid-pack guys are starting to hit pit road, it won't be long now before the leaders hit. It's just a question of how far they want to try and stretch the tires and fuel, knowing that these guys are going to come back out 2 seconds a lap faster than what they are currently running. Eric Stoy in 2nd, still losing ground to Jeremy Root for the moment. Jody Ogden now back in 3rd past Harley Barletta, starting to reel in Eric Stoy just a little bit of a blink there. Nicole Creasel now on pit road. And looks like we will be seeing a couple of drivers come back up off pit road in just a moment. Jason Rome and Brian Oshinska both have completed their pit stops. Harley Barletta now back to 4th. Richie West to 5th. Brandon Springer has been jumping around from 5th to 10th spot this whole race, currently running in 6th. And Mark Nelson, who started in 14th, is now up to 7th. if they stop on lap 40, about when we predict they will start, the leaders will start coming. Oh, a little wiggle out of Jeremy Root there out of turn 4. That is the first time tonight we've seen Root bobble at all. And right behind him on fresh tires, there is Brian Oshinska. Let's take a look at Brian's times and his speed. And you can see just how much more speed he has in the corner. He's running 147, 148 in the middle of the corner. And Jeremy Root obviously not running near that same speed. Brian Oshinska unlapping himself one time already. Let's see what Jeremy's speeds are. 135, 138. Oh, he gets to he was doing about 138 in the middle. James Harris, Jared Heasley now on pit road. Eric Stoy in second, still losing a little bit of ground. The gap to the leader now almost 5 seconds, and the leader is on pit road. Jeremy Root come into pit road. Eric Stoy stays out. Jody Ogden is staying out. Harley Barletta stays out. I expect we will see them all on pit road next time. I expect we see a lot of cars on pit road next time by. Mike Smith and Bill Percy both hit pit road. So the first cycle of green flag stops underway. Eric Stoy in the lead now. And he is going to come to pit road. Jody Ogden's going to come to pit road. Harley Barletta coming to pit road. Richie West and Mark Nelson come to pit road. Brandon Springer stays out. Everybody coming to pit. No, I stand corrected. Let's see. Scott and Topher have not come to pit road yet, and neither of them do. Bit of a surprise here as Scott and Topher stay out, and here comes Nicole. That's what she said, Creasel, and she is looking to get past both of them as she is out there on fresh tires. Scott up to the high side. Topher gets by on the bottom fairly easily. Nicole will fly by him here in a moment. Meanwhile, Brandon Springer staying out another lap. Brandon, Greg McDaniels, Topher Baltimore, and Scotty Tuhati, the only 4 cars that have not been to pit road yet. And now is when the chaos starts. A big group that has been to pit road is coming out right now around these guys that are still out on old tires. It looks like Brandon Springer might be trying to get to pit road. Jason Rome gets the right rear corner. Looked like Brandon was fighting that car, drifted up in front of him. Greg McDaniel hit pit road this time. Brandon held on to that car beautifully after getting a little bit of a bump from the 87. Richie West comes by. Brandon cannot afford to stay out another lap. Off into turn 3. Hopefully we'll see Brandon hit pit road this time. No damage from the little bit of a bump he got from the 87. Brandon Springer coming to pit road. That leaves Topher. Nope, Topher Baltimore is the only car that has not been to pit road yet. And it looks like Thor is slowing down. And he makes the final stop for the first round of green flag pit stops. Jeremy Root has reassumed the lead. Eric Stoy in second, now 6.3 seconds back. Jody Ogden currently in third. Harley Barletta right behind him in fourth. James Harris picks up a couple spots. He is now up to fifth. Jason Rome in sixth. Richie West in seventh. Mark Nelson, 8th. Jared Heasley in 9th and Greg McDaniel in 10th. And it looks like a battle starting to heat up just a little bit behind them as Mike Smith and Bill Percy go side by side down the back straightaway for 11th. Brian Oshinska, the first car to hit pit road, currently in 12th. Brandon Springer lost a lot of time with that late pit stop. He is still on the lead lap, but he is in 13th place, 28 seconds behind on it, and these guys are running 33.5-second laps. So he is in danger of going a lap down. He's got to hope that having the freshest tires on track will pay off in the long run. Jeremy Root coming down the back straightaway. Nicole Creasel dropping to the bottom to let him by. Eric Stoy in second. The battle for third, though, as Jody Ogden has been running that bottom line. Harley Barlett has been up on the high side all night. Off of turn 4, Harley almost gets the nose in there. They're even at the line. Off into turn number 1, Harley Barletta back to third. James Harris currently running in 5th place. He is 4 seconds behind that battle. Richie West a second and a half behind him. Mark Nelson right there with Richie. Jason Rome in 8th. We saw him get together with Brandon a couple of laps ago as Brandon was trying to get to pit road. No damage to that car. Jared Heasley currently running in 9th. Greg McDaniel in 10th. That battle for 11th is still going as those two came off turn 4 side by side. Looks like they're going to go at it again. Bill Percy has the advantage through 1 and 2. I'm willing to bet Mike Smith is backed out after that first run, realizing he went a little bit too hard. He is trying to hold on to the tires. Harley Barletta now up into third, trying to run down Eric Stoy, 2.4 seconds ahead of him. Eric is closing the gap on Jeremy Root now. It was 6.5 seconds, now just under 5 seconds. Seems like Eric Stoy getting through the turns a little bit quicker. Mark Nelson continuing to march his way forward. Richie West finally clears James Harris. Now Mark Nelson looks to the bottom. Mark sends it in through 3 and 4 and picks up. Oh no, James Harris is going to fight back. It looked like Mark Nelson was going to take that one easy. James Harris said no. Jeremy Root's lead continuing to dwindle. We saw Eric Stoy was the fastest one on the long run in that first portion of the race before the first pit stop, and Eric Stoy continues marching his way forward. After pit stops, Jeremy Root had a 6.5 second lead that's now down to 4.5 seconds. Harley Barletta currently running in third, Jody Ogden in fourth. And the battle for fifth is a 3-car battle, although Richie and Mark have now passed James Harris. James back into 7th, Mark up to 6th, Richie West in 5th. Richie West, one of the top contenders in the playoffs last season. Good to see him having a good start to his season. Harley Barletta 3 seconds back from Eric Stoy now, trying to run him down, but it's going to be a tough fight with Eric Stoy continuing to march his way forward. Brian Oshinska, Robin jumps up to the high side, puts Batman by the wall. Lets Eric Stoy by off of turn number 4. Smart move by Brian. He'll be able to sit there and draft with him. Eric Stoy just flying around here tonight. He does not have the fastest lap. He currently has the 4th fastest lap of the race so far. Harley Barletta has the fastest lap by quite a bit. But Eric Stoy has been the most consistent and one of the fastest overall. Mark Nelson, another one. Not the fastest lap by any stretch of the imagination, but he is continuing to be consistent and not falling off as much as some of the other drivers. He's wearing them down on the long run. He's already up to 6th and continuing to make his way forward, following Richie West around for the moment. Jared Heasley lost a lot on the long run last time. After pit stops, he's been a bit more conservative and holding on to 8th place. Greg McDaniel currently running in 9th. Brandon Springer in 10th has picked up. He stayed out longer than anybody else before he pitted. He was the last one to pit on lap 44. Dropped all the way back to 13th, has now made his way up to 10th. Those 3-lap fresher tires we showed last night in the trucks, 3 laps is a big difference. More than 3 laps will be a huge difference, and on this run he'll be able to extend 6 laps further than everybody else. For the 3 from the original plus an additional 3, if he chooses to do that, he'll have the freshest tires late in the run as he picks off Greg McDaniel. Brandon Springer, I questioned his strategy there when he stayed out. It's obviously paying off. Last time by, he actually had the fastest lap of anybody that time by. Caution! Topher Baltimore! What happened? Thor went for a tumble. Topher comes off turn 2. Oh, he just grazed the wall and overcorrected. Car flips down the back straightaway up into traffic. Thankfully, everybody manages to get by. Pit strategy just changed completely. Caution. First caution of the night. Remember last night, the Truck Series saw 1 caution all night long. Eric Stoy currently running in 2nd. Topher's car is totaled. He'll have to use his fast repair here. Not what he wanted to see. Rough start to the truck season and now a rough start to the Cup season. Let's see if while he is on pitting, while we're under caution, let's see if we can get a word with Eric. Eric, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, I do, Doug.
Hey, buddy. I know you're about to go to pit road. We'll try and keep this brief, but I have to ask, the cars have V8s in them. Do you have a V10?
Something like that. This Holt car is pretty strong. So I'm just trying to go as hard as I can and catch this Jeremy Root guy, and hopefully I can give him some competition.
Well, you've been Hulk smashing your way through the field tonight after starting in 9th, and you actually have not had the fastest lap, but you've had the fastest overall runs and probably one of the most consistent charges toward the front.
Oh, I didn't know that, but yeah, my car is pretty fast right now.
Well, good luck, buddy. Keep charging for it. I think you actually have like the second or third fastest lap of the race, but overall the most consistent, and especially on the late run. Good luck.
Hey, thank you.
Make sure I put it back in the right place. All right, that was Eric Stoy. He went in second. He comes out second. Another driver on the move, Mark Nelson. Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, heck of a run so far. Biggest mover of the race thus far, but I have to ask, this caution just about works out perfectly to give you an opportunity here.
Well, I hope you're right. Hopefully it's not an opportunity to ruin someone else's day, but I'll do my best.
I just was looking at it. You and Eric have jumped about the same amount of positions throughout the race, but and been the most consistent, but the long run has really been where you've been the dominant car.
I appreciate that. I am learning how to drive this car again. I've been out of it for a little while, so here's hoping that I can keep it clean and get a little bit closer to the front.
All right, man. Good luck. I'm sure you'll be up there before long.
Thank you.
All right, Mark Nelson, being a little humble there, started in 14th and is now up to 6th. Richie West, another one. Let's see if we can get a quick word with him. They haven't stacked up yet. Hey, Richie, it's Doug. You got me?
10-4, bud. I got you.
Hey, man. You are one of the 3 cars that are just storming through the field here tonight.
Yeah, you know, she feels great. She's fast. She's to the ground. You know, I don't know. I'm just liking it. It just has a good feel. I had a really killer pit stop on that one. I wasn't expecting that one, but I guess the boys were on it tonight.
Did you give them some extra energy drinks and whatnot while you were out doing laps?
You know, a few energy drinks, maybe a couple beers. You know, it all works the same, right?
It definitely does. All right, well, you're stacking back up, and you're going to restart in 4th. Good luck. You've got some fast guys up there, but you've been hanging time-wise with them all night. So good luck, buddy.
10-4. Thanks. Appreciate it, Doug.
All right, those are the 3 drivers who have made the biggest charges so far. Eric Stoy, Richie West, Mark Nelson. Richie and Mark up 8 spots each. Eric Stoy up 7 spots. And they're going to restart with Jeremy Root and Eric Stoy on the front row. Harley Barletta, Richie West on the second row. Jody Ogden, James Harris on the third row. Or I'm sorry, it'll be Ogden and Mark Nelson on the third row. Harris and McDaniel on the 4th row. Topher did come back out. He did get that car repaired. And it looks like Nicole did get a wave around, so she is going to get one of her laps back. That's going to put her a lot closer to the lead lap. Look for her to come on later in the season, as she has been getting a lot of extra practice and getting substantially better. All right, down the front straightaway, green flag in the air. Jeremy Root down and away. Gets a good jump. Harley Barletta staying right on the back bumper. And Jeremy Root, Harley Barletta running similar lines. Eric Stoy up on the high side. Did not get a good restart here. Richie West now looking to the inside. Richie West drop back in line briefly. He was looking to the inside of Eric Stoy. Now he's going to drop back. Richie's been running that middle line most of the race. One of the things the drivers like about this track, multiple different grooves, multiple different ways you can take the track. This was one of the first tracks to get the that iRacing set up to actually get multi-groove racing working correctly, and it is definitely working great here. And almost 3 wide. Looks like some of them are getting a little bit racy back there. Just under 6 or just over 50 laps to go. Here comes Mark Nelson now up to 7th, Richie West in 6th, Eric Stoy and Jared Heasley had some sort of problem. I think he might have gotten loose off the turn. Let's back it up and see. I'm not sure if he had any help with that, but caught it out of the corner of my eye. Oh, there you see it. Jared Heasley up on the high side, got loose, got into Greg McDaniel, caught him. Greg manages to save it, keep it going straight. He bangs the outside wall. Jared Heasley drops down to the bottom. Everybody gets going the right way, but both Greg McDaniel and Jared Heasley losing a ton of time, and it looks like Jared's got some significant damage to the right front of that car. And this track, a heavily aero-dependent track. Looking at Greg McDaniel's car now, let's see how much damage that car took. He took a pretty significant hit on the right side from Heasley. Looks like a little bit less damage though. He's got some on the right front bumper, but not as bad as Heasley. Jared Heasley, significant damage to that car. He'll have to make an early pit stop more than likely to get that car fixed. Meanwhile, while all of that was going on, Harley Barletta jumps back to the lead. Off of turn 4, there's a battle going on behind. James Harris in third's got Jody Ogden right on the bumper. James was looking low under Jeremy Root. And Jody was looking low under him, but here comes the Hulk, Eric Stoy on the bottom. And they are racing for every single position out here. Mark Nelson probably has the best seat in the house for this battle. Let's see. Right behind Richie West as they go off 2 wide into 3 and 4. Picking the throttle up earlier than everybody else. I think he is one of the guys using the brakes just a little bit. Everybody 2 wide right in front of him except for Richie and Jody. Looks like they're starting to straighten out a little bit. James Harris now up there to 3rd. Everybody settling down for a moment. Couple of close calls throughout that battle. Everybody needed a moment to catch their breath. Brandon Springer back up in 8th. We saw his pit strategy really look like it was about to pay off. That caution is not what Brandon wanted to see, but he is starting to make up ground regardless. Last time Harley Barletta was in the lead, he jumped out to a very large lead. This time it seems he's being more conservative. Jeremy Root in 2nd. James Harris now up to 3rd. Eric Stoy on the bottom looking for 3rd from James Harris. Jody Ogden in 5th. Richie West in 6th. Mark Nelson back to 7th. Brandon Springer in 8th. Scotty Too Hottie has now worked his way back into the top 10. He is in 9th. And Bill Percy holding on to the top 10. He has been around that top 10 all night. The furthest back he has gone has been about 12th. Great job by Bill Percy. Looking forward to seeing what he does this season, both in truck and in the Cup Series. Last season he came on real strong mid-season, started picking up positions and points. Look for him to do the same here. But hopefully he picks up some positions earlier in the season, possibly puts himself in position for a championship. But there's a couple of guys up here that look like it's going to be an all-out war for the championship this season the way they're running. James Harris, Eric Stoy still battling for third place. Eric Stoy jumps ahead coming out of turn 4. Jody Ogden back there in 5th. Will James... Battle for the lead as Jeremy Root goes back by Harley Barletta. Harley back to 2nd. Eric Stoy 3rd. James Harris 4th. Jody Ogden in 5th, but Ogden is dropping to the bottom. He is going for 4th. And don't forget, 2 drivers still lurking right behind him. Richie West, Mark Nelson. 2 of the guys that have marched through the field here. Brandon Springer, another one who started in 10th, up to 8th now, looking for 7th from Mark Nelson. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is on again as Harley goes by Jeremy Root on the high side. Eric Stoy staying right with Jeremy on the bottom. That little bit of draft help looks like it might have been enough to put Jeremy Root back up there. That time by, it was Harley Barletta at the line. But that gap could be measured in hundredths of seconds. And Eric Stoy now looking for 2nd underneath Barletta. Barletta trying to fight back for the lead. Eric Stoy to the bottom. Almost 3 wide off of turn number 4, and Eric Stoy is fighting for 2nd place. Jody Ogden sitting back there in 4th, watching the show in front of him. Meanwhile, the battle back here for about 5th place. Richie West, James Harris, Brandon Springer, Mark Nelson right there with them. James Harris currently in 5th. Richie West trying to take it. He's got Brandon Springer on the bottom behind him. And Richie West looks like he might clear James this time. And he does, and now Brandon Springer starts to look to the inside of the 55 of James Harris. Meanwhile, Jeremy Root has finally cleared Harley Barletta and Eric Stoy. Oh, it gets really close. Coming off of turn number 4. I'm sorry, that was off of turn number 2. It got really dicey there for Harley Barletta, Eric Stoy, and Nicole Kriesel. And Richie West has finally come out on top of that battle behind him, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, Jody Ogden now looking to take 3rd place from Harley Barletta. Harley Barletta in 3rd, up on the high side. Eric Stoy on the bottom in 2nd. Jeremy Root has ran multiple lines. In fact, Jeremy Root's pretty much the only driver we've seen change his lineup throughout the race. Everybody else seems to, once they pick their line, they are sticking with it. That is a very common trend here, but Jeremy Root has ran the high line, the bottom, and the middle. He has just been shaking it up all over the place tonight. Lap 82 of the 120 laps scheduled here tonight, and they are all almost within their, actually they're all within their pit windows now. So everybody could pit right now and make it to the end. 37 laps to go. Jody Ogden finally clearing Harley Barletta for 3rd. Harley back to 4th. Richie West still in 5th. Brandon Springer has made his way to 6th. James Harris starting to fade again. He is back to 7th. Oh, James Harris gets the wall. Mark Nelson gets by Harris, gets the wall, holds on to the car. You saw a little wiggle once he got a little bit of the wall there. And Nicole Creasel has come to pit road. She is making her final pit stop. Scotty 2 Hottie now up to 9th place. Jeremy Root starting to open up a bit of a lead. He's got a just over 1 second lead on Eric Stoy. Jody Ogden trying to reel both of them in 3rd. Harley Barletta in 4th. Richie West has started reeling in Harley Barletta. And he's going to bring Brandon Springer and Mark Nelson with him. Bill Percy has come to pit road. Trying to take a short pit strategy by some of these drivers. They're going to try and get that speed early. See if they can make it last. I guarantee you Mark Nelson's going to stretch as long as he can. That was his strategy the first half of the race, and it was definitely paying off before the caution came out. Jeremy Root up on the high side, still in the lead, has extended his lead over Eric Stoy to 1.4 seconds, and now Eric has Jody Ogden with him. Harley Barletta about to come under attack. Richie West has been slowly closing in, but the guy really moving right now, Brandon Springer. Looking at the lap times, the last couple of times by, Brandon Springer has been just as fast as the leader. Let's take a look at their lap times. You can see them there at the top. And now Jody Ogden to the bottom for second. And what a power pass by the 2 car of Jody Ogden. And now Harley Barletta is really going to have to defend. Richie West goes to the bottom. He drove in too deep, couldn't get all the way to the bottom like we've seen Richie doing. But he gets a run up off of turn number 2. Brandon Springer lurking right there as well. Mark Nelson right behind that pack. And don't forget, immediately following this, the Fast and Fun boys will take the ARCA cars to Richmond. You'll want to see that one. Several of the drivers in this field will be in that field as well. Some of those drivers might be looking for a little bit of redemption after this race, like Jared Heasley, who has suddenly started struggling later in the race. He is now back to 12th. He has actually not been to pit road to fix that damage on that car. And it looks like the car is suffering for it. He was struggling on corner entry there into turn 1. I know we'll see James Harris out there. He has been fading the last few laps. But ARCA cars at Richmond. Richmond is one of the best tracks for James Harris. Look forward to seeing him make his way forward. And Harley Barletta, of course, as well. Now Harley really having to defend Richie West to the bottom. Brandon Springer staying right in their tire tracks off of turn number 4. Richie West takes 4th place. Can Harley Barletta make a crossover and get back that position? Not yet, and now Brandon Springer drops to the bottom. Harley Barletta moves down just a little bit. They both have to move up. Brandon Springer drifted up just a little bit in the middle of 1 and 2. Jeremy Root still out front. Heasley has gone to pit road. He is going to get that car repaired, see if he can make something happen here. Mark Nelson on pit road. They've been on this set of tires right at 30 laps. It would be almost a perfect split to stop now. They'd have 28 laps to go. Jody Ogden currently running in second place, trying to run down that leader, Jeremy Root. He's kept him within 1.5 seconds. Eric Stoy seems to be struggling a little bit now. He has dropped back to third, now over a second behind Jody Ogden, late in a run. This is where Eric has been the fastest car on track. Richie West in fourth, though, is starting to make his way forward, and Harley Barletta is really starting to fade here as Brandon Springer looked to the inside, couldn't get anything done yet. I'm willing to bet, you see the peanut butter dripping off the front. I'm willing to bet he's got some special formula that's dripping onto the tires, giving him a little extra grip, and it looks like we've had a crash. No caution. James Harris and Scott Snodgrass both on pit road. Looks like Nicole Creasel might have been involved. Off of turn number 2. Oh, Scott Snodgrass bounces off the wall out of turn 2, catches Nicole, sends her to the inside. Jeremy Root continues to open up just a little bit of a lead over Jody Ogden, now 1.8 seconds. Eric Stoy is losing ground to Jody, now 1.45 seconds. Mike Smith on pit road. Mark Nelson has completed his stop. He is back out there on fresh tires now, currently running in 13th. This is what we saw him do earlier after he... Mark Nelson is missing his hood? I am not 100% sure how that happened. Let's take a look at his pit entry and see if it happened when he came to pit road. And, oh, he did catch the barrels on the entry to pit road. After having one of the fastest cars on track, that is not the way he wanted this night to end. Currently in 12th place, he's still making up a little bit of time there, but he's going to lose a lot without having the hood on that car. Several cars have not been to pit road yet. Brian Oshinska now on pit road. Nicole Creasel, after the incident with Scott Snodgrass, now on pit road. Greg McDaniel had an incident. Greg McDaniel was on his way to pit road. Let's see what happened. He dropped to the apron through 3 and 4. Let's back that up because I did not see. It looks like he just stopped. And now there's a caution. Mike Smith involved. And it looks like he may have disappeared and reappeared right in front of Topher Baltimore. Mike Smith takes a hard hit, and this works out perfectly for 7 drivers. Jeremy Root, Jody Ogden, Eric Stoy, Richie West, Harley Barletta, Brandon Springer, and Jason Rome have not pitted yet. Everybody from 8th on back has already been to pit road and are showing a lap down. They either have to stay out right now. James Harris should be in the lucky dog position. These guys either have to stay out right now and hope for the best on tires, or they come back to pit road and continue to be a lap down. Jeremy Root, all the lead lap cars coming to pit road. Jason Rome now coming around. He's going to get on pit road, sends it in there really well. Nice save and recovery, and this could be the battle for the win right here. It could come down to who comes off pit road first. Jody Ogden's got his right sides up. Harley's right sides are up. They're going to take 4 tires and a full tank of fuel. Nobody trying a 2-tire stop here. And it looks like it's going to be close. Jody Ogden comes off second. Eric Stoy comes off third. Richie West fourth. Harley Barletta losing a ton of ground on that pit stop. And by virtue of position on the track, it looks like we're going to have about 12 cars back on the lead lap. Some of these guys stayed out. We'll have to wait and see how many of these guys come to pit road now. Hey, Bill, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, buddy. You're having one heck of a run tonight, man.
Well, I think I screwed up. This caution's going to hurt. My tires are a little older than theirs now.
Well, regardless, you're still on the lead lap and in the top 10 right now, and you've been in the top 10 most of the night.
Very lucky, I guess.
Well, sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good, but you've been doing extremely well. Lap times matching some of the top guys here tonight. You're having one heck of a run. Great way to get your season kicked off.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate that.
All right, man. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, that was Bill. That was Bill Percy running in 10th. Jody Ogden now in second place. Let's see if we can get a quick word. Hey, Jody, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, buddy. Heck of a race off pit road there. You got a couple of positions out of that deal.
I don't know how. I usually screw it up pretty bad.
Did you give your pit crew some espresso before the race tonight?
Yeah, I gave him a free ticket to get some ice cream.
That always helps. Now, you were starting to run Jeremy down early in the run, and in the middle of the run, you really started to run him down, but late in the run, you faded a little bit. Now, with just a short run to the finish, are you going to be able to do something with him?
I don't think so. I'm just not saving my tires well enough. I don't think I can. I mean, I think I can stay with him for a while, but we also got Harley behind us, and he's been really fast on the start, so... you know, it's going to be a pretty good battle here, I think.
It definitely is. You're having one heck of a run tonight, and congratulations, man. It's been a heck of a show, buddy.
Well, thanks a lot, Doug. I appreciate it.
All right, that was Jody Ogden, the driver of the 2 car, and I think he's, as Jody always is a bit humble here tonight. He is definitely one to watch. As the first half of the run, he has been equal pace with the leader, Jeremy Root. I really think Jeremy is about to have his hands full. Richie West on that second row with Eric Stoy, Harley Barletta, and Jason Rome on the third row. Did not get a chance to talk to Jason. Wish I had. Great run out of Jason Rome here tonight. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air down the front straightaway. Jeremy Root gets another great restart. Looks like he caught a few guys napping. Richie West was not caught. He is down to the bottom for second. Here comes Harley Barletta on the bottom around Eric Stoy and Jason Rome right there with him off turn 2. Down the back straightaway, they know they've got 18 laps to go. The tires, they've got what they got. They got it. Oh, Harley almost gets in the back bumper of Eric Stoy, has to check up. And a mix of lap cars and lead lap cars together right behind this group. Several cars staying out, getting waved around, and continuing to try and make something happen. Meanwhile, up front, Jeremy Root continuing to lead, but he now has a hard-charging Jody Ogden on the bottom. Richie West, Eric Stoy right there behind him with Jason Rome and Harley Barletta. One of Jason's best runs in a while. Great to see Jason in this fight here tonight. Jeremy Root changing up his line through 1 and 2, goes to the bottom. Jody gets loose off of turn 2. And Eric Stoy just ran the fastest lap of the race. Two drivers have cracked the 33-second mark. Eric Stoy, Jody Ogden. Both of them did it on the last lap. And Eric Stoy now to the bottom for second place. 15 to go. Jeremy Root's got to be loving looking in his mirror, seeing this battling going on behind him. They're 3 wide behind. Eric Stoy couldn't get the position yet. Eric and Jody both have been running that bottom line. Right behind them, Brandon Springer and Jason Rome continue to battle. James Harris still in this fight. Richie West still up there. It is anybody's bet for second place right now. 7 or 8 cars right there that could easily take second place at any moment as Brandon Springer dives to the inside of Jason Rome through 1 and 2. Jason Rome holds him off on the high side. Eric Stoy still trying to fight Jody Ogden on the bottom. Jody has not ran that top line all night. Harley is way up there in the wall. Didn't touch it, but boy was he close as Eric Stoy almost clears Jody, but Jody has that momentum off the high side. Eric Stoy back to the bottom. Jody Ogden has ran that bottom line all night. We've not seen him up at the top all night long. Now he is really making that top line work for him. Jody Ogden gets loose and gets into the wall. Out of turn number 4, Eric Stoy goes by. Harley Barletta goes by. Richie West might get by. And here comes Brandon Springer as Jody Ogden gets loose coming out of turn 4, loses several positions. He's still got 12 laps, but will he be able to regain the momentum and get back up there? Meanwhile, Eric Stoy now up in second. Harley Barletta right on the back bumper. They have a 1.2 second gap to the leader, Jeremy Root. And if I were Jeremy Root right about now, I'd be a little bit worried looking in my mirror. It was a happy moment a few laps ago. Jeremy saw that 2 and 3 wide battling right behind him. Nothing to worry about. Then they get single file and Eric Stoy starting to close that gap. Meanwhile, Jody Ogden already recovering. He is back past Richie West up to 4th. And looking for 3rd on Harley Barletta through 3 and 4. Brandon Springer in 6th. James Harris just out of contact in 7th. Jason Rome in 8th. Scott Snodgrass currently running in 9th. Bill Percy holding on to 10th. Jeremy Root's lead holding at 1.4 seconds with 10 laps to go. And looks like James Harris got a little bit loose off of turn 2 there at the back. Eric Stoy trying to run down Jeremy Root here, but not gaining very much. A couple hundredths of a second every lap. 9 laps to go. It may not be enough. He really needs Jeremy Root to make a mistake. Jeremy has not made a mistake yet. Harley Barletta sitting there in 3rd, just hounding the back bumper of Eric Stoy. Jody Ogden, after getting loose in turn 4, trying to make something happen, pick up some positions here. And now Jody Ogden on the bottom to the inside of Harley Barletta. Can't get it completed yet. And Brandon Springer looking to the inside there. Can't get it. He drifts up mid-corner. He's going to have some momentum off of turn 2. Richie West still lurking back there in 6th. Any mistake, Richie is going to be able to pounce on all of these guys, and all 4 of them are under a blanket with 8 laps to go. Brandon Springer dives to the inside on Jody Ogden. He gets past him and gets to the inside of Harley Barletta, all in the same turn. Brandon Springer just turned it up. And here comes Jody right to the back bumper. Brandon loses some momentum, drifts up the track. Jody jumps back underneath. Richie West right there waiting to capitalize. Hasn't been able to do it yet. Eric Stoy still trying to run down Jeremy Root. Jeremy has opened up that lead further. It is now 2 1/4 seconds. Down the back straightaway they go. Harley Barletta lost a lot of ground. He might have grazed the wall through 3 and 4. Jody Ogden now back to the bottom, trying to take third from Harley. Brandon Springer just following Jody through every opportunity. Jody back to the bottom. Eric Stoy still leading this group around and trying to find any way to gain some ground on Jeremy Root, but Jeremy now 2 1/2 seconds out front with 4 laps to go. And remember, here in a few minutes, you're going to see a lot of these same names in the ARCA series. Oh, wreck on the back straightaway. Caution. And it looks like Jody Ogden is involved. I think Jody might have got the wall there. They came through 1 and 2 side by side. Oh, Jody just drifted up and catches Harley Barletta and turns. And Jody Ogden's chance for a win ended right there. Now Jeremy Root will have to do one more restart. Eric Stoy up there. James Harris came to pit road. Only car in the top 10 to come to pit road. And it looks like James Harris might have caught a piece of something. He actually ended up being towed. Let's see what happened to... See if we can see what happened to James here. Not sure. He stops at the end of pit road, but Jody Ogden in for 4 tires and fuel. Mark Nelson also on pit road. Hopefully Mark Nelson's team puts the hood back. He is not using his fast repair. Interesting. It is now Jeremy Root in first, Eric Stoy second, Harley Barletta third, Brandon Springer fourth, Richie West in fifth. Then Jason Rome in sixth, Scotty Tuati in seventh, eighth is Bill Percy, Mike Smith now ninth, and after going to pit road for repairs, Jody Ogden in 10th. It'll be a green-white checkered. Will those fresh tires be enough to, in 2 laps, get Jody all the way back around? Hey, Jason, it's Doug. You got me?
What's up, Mr. Burns?
Hey, man. Heck of a run you're having tonight, buddy.
Well, I got 3 tracks that I don't like, and this is one of them. I think I've just got lucky, so I don't know what's going to happen here. I think Jeremy's got this kind of in the bag, but who knows what Eric's going to do.
Well, regardless of how it goes, man, 6th place, possibly a top 5 here, but definitely you've got the top 10 locked up, and one heck of a run tonight, bud.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm just trying to keep it clean and give everybody lots of room. Earn some trust back. Appreciate it, Doug.
Hey, you're doing a great job, bud. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Jason having one heck of a night here tonight. All right, it'll be Jeremy Root and Eric Stoy up front, Harley Barletta, Brandon Springer, all in the second row. Richie West, Jason Rome on the third row. Scott Snodgrass, Bill Percy on the fourth row. Mike Smith, Jody Ogden rounding out the top 10. Jody Ogden, the only car on the lead lap with fresh tires. I take that back. Mark Nelson and Jared Heasley both have fresh tires. As the green flag drops, Jeremy Root down and away. And Jody Ogden with fresh tires already picking off 10th place. Mike Smith now underneath Bill Percy for 9th. Up front, Jeremy Root has pulled away Harley Barletta to 2nd. Jason Rome to the bottom, power move into turn 3. He sends it in there. Can he make it stick? He drifts up in front of Brandon Springer. Oh! And Jeremy Root comes down and takes the win. Harley Barletta finishes 2nd. Eric Stoy is 3rd. Richie West is 4th. Scott comes home 5th. Bill Percy 6th. Jody Ogden is 7th. Brandon Springer is 8th. Jason Rome in 9th. After a hard try to get that position, Mike Smith finishes 10th, Mark Nelson 11th, and Jared Heasley finishing 12th. Let's see what happened to Jason Rome there. Let's rewind it a little bit. We turned away to watch the win, and it looks... out of turn 4. Oh, Jason just bumps the wall, gets into Brandon just a little bit. Brandon keeps going right. Jody Ogden, what a move with those 4 fresh tires. And Jason Rome finishes going backwards, but finishes in the top 10 regardless. And a great finish, great drive by these guys. And Jeremy Root is your winner. And I don't see Jeremy Root available. Let's talk to Harley. This is Doug. You got me? Hey, Harley, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, what's up, Doug?
Hey, man. Heck of a run there. You managed to bring home a 2nd place finish, and that was a hard-fought 2nd place.
Yeah, it was. With all that damage, too. That was ridiculous. Got into it a little bit there with Jody, and that completely pancaked the right side and messed up all the front. But I was surprised it still had speed. I'm really happy that it did, too, because that last lap was great.
That definitely was, man. And what a comeback it was. You had actually, on that last pit stop, lost several positions, just started picking them off there late in the run, and got up there for a 2nd place finish.
Yeah, man, we went in 5th, we came out 5th, and we got stuck. And then that late caution, sad for me and Jody both, but it helped us.
It definitely helped you, and it worked out great. Congratulations. Another 2nd place finish. I'm sure we'll see you in victory lane before long.
Yeah, hopefully next race.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
All right, and our winner, Jeremy Root, has just jumped in. Congratulations, Jeremy.
Thanks, Doug. It was a heck of a race, man.
It definitely was. There was a couple of times where it looked like a couple of guys might actually be able to get you there in the running, but every time you just come back around, and every restart you just took off.
Yeah, we had a good car. Short run speed I wasn't all there, but once we got a little bit of heat in the tires, we kind of took off.
Yeah,
and made that long run happen.
Yeah, that was definitely the case. In the short run, a couple of guys would get away, but once those tires, about 5 laps in, it's like you had another gear. It was crazy.
It felt like it. We was moving. I had a nice line that was working really well for me, and I was comfortable, and we were just working our way through the field.
Well, you definitely did it. You got the win tonight. Congratulations, man. Heck of a showing.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'd like to thank my spotter, Dwayne Kenner. Him being in here kind of helped me a lot, having somebody watching over my back and help me with fuel mileage and all that good stuff. And I'd like to thank my sponsors, Pay to Win, RMD Designs, my two main sponsors that I worry about the most.
Well, it is definitely good to have the Iceman in the boot or on the spotter stand for you, man. He does a great job.
Yes, sir, he does. He's been a great spotter to me for a few years, and that's the way we're going to keep it.
All right, man. Congratulations, buddy. Look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and thanks for broadcasting.
My pleasure. All right, that was your winner, Jeremy Root, and now we're going to very quickly and hopefully efficiently switch over for the Fast and Fun ARCA series. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in just a moment. And while we're getting switched over, now's the perfect time to hit the snack bar and hit the share button while you're at it. Show these guys some love here tonight and stick around. We are loading in and the cars are unloading at Richmond. All right, folks, we are live from Richmond. From 1.5 miles to 3/4 of a mile. They just took Homestead and cut it in half. That's what's happening here tonight as the cars load in and they finish up practice here at Richmond in the ARCA cars. Now, since we had a lot of these guys in the other race, let's talk to somebody we haven't got to interview in a long time. Hey, Eli, it's Doug. You got me?
What?
It's Doug. Do you have me? Can you hear
I got you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what the fuck do you want?
You're live, by the way.
Perfect.
All right, you're the fastest on track. Are you going to win here tonight?
I don't know. We got some tough competition. It's all about saving the tires out here. You know, fast lap's good for qualifying, but as far as racing, it's going to be all about saving the right front tire, I think.
That is definitely always the case here, and I know from past experience you are always extremely fast and consistent here. So are you going to be able to do the same here tonight in these cars and pull off the win?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to give it a shot. This is my by far my favorite track, so I think we got a pretty good shot at it, but we'll get confident about lap 99, you know, for we're leading, you know. Can't make too many predictions yet.
All right, man. Good luck. Try and keep that nose clean, and hope you end up in victory lane, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right, Eli Childs in the number 9 car. I just went completely blank as they complete practice and go out for qualifying. Richard Fornshell already getting out on track. He's the first one out. Trey Whitehead getting out on track now. Brandon McLaughlin. Christian Wilcox out on track. Garth Snyder is out there as well. James Harris, you saw him just a few moments ago. He's out there. Harley Barletta, we talked to him just a few minutes ago. He is out there as well. Looking to see who comes out. Now, last season, this series was a variety series. That man was the champion. That was Garth Snyder. He came out on top in the variety series. Then they switched over to this ARCA series. When we talked to him the first week, he said he definitely is looking forward to seeing if he can win here again. He loves these cars as well. Brock Whitehead in the Kodak car, or no, I'm sorry, Shell Oil. Eli Wildchilds in the Napa car. William Mann Jr. hitting the wall on corner entry, and that'll be an issue with a lot of drivers tonight. If you drive into turn 1 too hard, you will hit that outside wall. We'll talk a little bit more about the track and how to drive it here in a moment. But first, let's take a little bit of look. Let's take a look at the current track stats. 71 degrees is the air temperature, 73-degree track temperature, 3/4 of a mile track. And here is an interesting thing about Richmond, as 3/4 of a mile track, 14-degree turns, 8-degree banking on the front straightaway, 2-degree banking on the back straightaway. But when you go off into turn 1, while it has 14 degrees of banking, you are going downhill. That gets the car really tight on entry, really loose on exit. When you're coming up into turn 3, the same situation. The car tends to push on entry and be very, very loose off the corner as you get in the gas, because you are going uphill, plus the front straightaway has that bigger banking than the back straightaway. Makes things a little bit tricky. Stephen Pless sitting at the end of pit road, waiting to come out on track. Everybody, well, I say that. 11 cars have qualified. Robert Nguyen, Garth Snyder, Russ Kilgore, and Stephen Pless have not taken to the track yet. So far, though, Trey Whitehead and James Harris are the 2 fastest qualifiers. Eli Childs currently, even though it's his favorite track, he's currently qualified 11th at the moment. let's see if we can get a word with last week's winner at Daytona, James Harris. Hey, James, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, man. A little bit of a rough night at Homestead, but looks like you're looking pretty quick here at Richmond.
I don't know what happened because I got in here late from the Homestead race. Which, speaking of that, since they changed the track, I can't get a handle on it. I always burn my tires up, and I had to go do a 10-200 before this race, so I left on the gray-white checkered. But yeah, I don't know. I was like 10th in practice. I just threw a few laps in. I don't know how I got second, but we're just gonna pace ourselves and try to manage our tires.
Well, you got the win, your first race back last Sunday. Hopefully, you'll be able to pull off a second win here tonight.
I hope so. We're gonna shoot for a top 5, and then whatever happens after that happens.
All right, man. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
All right. He won last week at Daytona. After 3 weeks off, he's starting on the front row tonight. James Harris. First row will be Trey Whitehead and James Harris. Second row, Brandon McLaughlin, Harley Barletta, Richard Fornshell, and Brock Whitehead on the third row. Joshua Cadill and Christian Wilcox on the fourth row. William Mann and Derek Nguyen rounding out the top 10. Then Eli Childs, Robert Nguyen are 11th and 12th. 13th is Garth Snyder. Stephen Pless is 14th. Russ Kilgore starting in 15th. Everybody getting out on the grid for their pace laps. Just waiting on a couple more cars to take to the grid. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer look at some of these paint schemes. Looks like Russ Kilgore running the Levi Garrett paint scheme. Stephen Pless in the Ryzen paint scheme with Garth Snyder in an Oakley paint scheme. Robert Nguyen in his usual Metallica paint scheme. Eli in the Napa. Derek Nguyen in a blank car tonight. William Mann in the Michelob Ultra. No surprise there. Christian Wilcox in a Chick-fil-A car. And Joshua Cadill. I honestly can't tell and don't remember what he told us that was. Brock Whitehead in the Shell car. Richard Fornshell in the Sure Feed, excuse me. Harley Barletta probably has the best looking car out there. That is for the HTSAI Friday Fun League. Brandon McLaughlin in the number 6 Viagra car, the old school Mark Martin car. James Harris in the body armor, and Trey Whitehead there on the front row as the pace car drops off. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away. And already seeing it almost looked like we had a little bit of bumping down the front straightaway. Trey Whitehead already clearing traffic and getting out to the lead. Harley Barletta in third, but right behind third place, here comes the battle as... Oh, we've got a car hard in the wall. Several cars wrecking. Caution is out. Looks like Richard Fornshell is one of them. Short track racing. And it looks like Fornshell got on the brakes and the car snapped loose. It also looks like the 88... That was Garth Snyder was already wrecking behind him. Might have been the field checking up. Yeah, it looked like the field checked up. Garth had the same problem. Gets on the brakes and snaps around. All right, Trey Whitehead still up in the lead. Looks like he is trying to warm up his tires there. Or just goofing off. We're not sure which. James in second, Harley third, Brandon fourth, and obviously a lot of cars got some damage on that one. Robert Nguyen, Derek Nguyen, and Richard Fornshell all on pit road. Let's take a look at Garth's car as he has not come to pit road. Looks like minimal damage to the 88 car. probably saving his fast repair for later in the run. Trey Whitehead deciding, I don't think he can get the cone here tonight. We'll have to see. Hopefully he'll be able to pull off getting a cone. He can't get the pit road entry one because of the position of it. He'd hit the barrels more than likely. And let's see if he cannot get that pit exit one. Will he be able to get... And there is no cone, it appears. No, the cone is on the wall here, so nobody will be able to get the cone tonight unless they're willing to sacrifice their car for it. And some of these guys, it wouldn't surprise me, especially late in the race, they decide to sacrifice their car for the cone. Everybody back out on track. The 3 cars that went to pit have been repaired. Robert Nguyen, Richard Fornshell, and Derek Nguyen all have been repaired. All 3 of them at the back of the field as they start to stack back up for the restart. Trey Whitehead on the bottom. James Harris on the outside. Harley Barletta on the bottom. Brandon McLaughlin on the outside of row number 2. Brock Whitehead there in the Shell Oil car was making some moves on that first lap. Now that he's got some heat, a little bit more heat in those tires, be interesting to see what kind of moves he does now. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They're down and away, and Trey Whitehead gets a good jump on the field from the bottom. Off into turn 1 now. Harley Barletta battling. He's going to take second from James Harris. Here comes Brock Whitehead on the bottom for third. Watching everybody as they come through 3 and 4 this time. Expect to see some cars get loose up off turn 4, especially these first few laps. But Trey Whitehead definitely has the car dialed in here. Brock Whitehead on the bottom, and James Harris making something work on the high side. He gets up off turn 4, carries some momentum. Might have barely grazed the wall there, but he pulls it back up into third. Brock back to fourth, and now Josh is looking on the high side, trying to find a way around Brock Whitehead here. Now he's going to drop to the inside. There's a car wrecking on the back straightaway. It is Stephen Pless. Caution is out. And let's see what happened here as they come down into 1 and 2. Fornshell on the outside. And it looks like Pless might have just drifted up, bounced off of him. Comes down to the inside, and that car took a lot of damage. Stephen Pless is probably going to go to pit road. We'll wait and see here. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Yes, he does duck down pit road. Robert Nguyen also coming to pit road. Robert Nguyen will be a strategy move. He is topping off on fuel. Harley Barletta now in second. James Harris in third. Brock Whitehead in fourth. And let's see. Hey Trey, it's Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, you are getting a great restart every time and taking off. Are you going to be able to hold everybody off?
Yeah, we're going to try to mix it up, keep it as a variety instead of doing the same thing every time. I feel like we've got some decent long run speed. I'm just not sure about short run. Looks like Harley and James have a little bit better short run, but yeah, if we can mix up the restarts and I can hold them off a little bit, I think we can have a really good shot at winning this one. So it should be pretty exciting.
Well, you've definitely had the cleanest entry into turn 1, having that top spot. It's definitely paying off, man. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate you.
All right, that was Trey Whitehead. He has led every lap so far. Harley Barletta in second, James Harris third, Brock Whitehead fourth. Eli Childs, who started in 11th, now up to 7th. Russ Kilgore, who started in 15th, is now up to 8th. We'll have to watch Russ closely there in the 2 car, as he has made his way through all the chaos and managed to pick up a lot of positions while doing it. As they come around, stack back up for the restart. You heard Trey say he is going to mix it up, do something a little different every single restart, confuse these guys, give himself an advantage here. Looks like he is choosing to restart on the high side this time. Definitely trying to throw these guys for a loop. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. He gets another good jump on the field, and now Brock Whitehead on the high side. Go looking for second from Harley Barletta. Down the back straightaway, Brock Whitehead has the advantage on the high side, has the momentum, but he'll have to slow down more on corner entry. He's got to get up off turn 4. Oh, Harley Barletta and Brock Whitehead touch coming out of turn 4. No harm, no foul. Further back in the field, William Mann Jr., another car starting to pick up a lot of spots, but Russ Kilgore and Eli Childs have made up the most spots so far in this race. Both of them starting to work their way to the front. Another car to watch very closely. Robert Nguyen, who is currently in 15th place. He has stopped under both cautions. He has gotten a full tank of fuel, possibly tires. He is keeping that car in one piece as Josh Cadill has a problem. He has dropped all the way back to 13th. Let's see what happened when William Mann came past him. William Mann on the high side. Josh just gets loose off of turn number 2. Manages to keep the car going the right way and not hit anything, but lost a ton of momentum and a ton of ground. Back up front, Trey Whitehead now has to contend with Harley Barletta, looking to the inside. Nothing yet. Trey holds him off. Brock Whitehead now in 3rd. James Harris in 4th, trying to get a run down to the bottom. Eli Childs now up to 5th. And here comes Russ Kilgore in 6th. Both of these guys have managed to pick up a ton of spots. Eli is up 5 spots, and they're 3 wide on the back straightaway. Eli's picked up 5 spots. Russ has picked up 9 spots since the start of this race. They continue to make their way forward. Trey Whitehead, though, is falling back. Harley Barletta now up front. And James Harris now in 2nd, looking for the pass on Barletta. Brock Whitehead now in 3rd. Trey in 4th. Eli Childs in 5th. Russ Kilgore keeps looking to the outside on Eli, trying to pick up that position as well. And Trey Whitehead goes way high in 3 and 4. Looks like he might have drove in too deep that time. Meanwhile, Harley Barletta in the 81 out front, but James Harris is closing on him. James Harris looked to the inside for just a moment. Couldn't do anything with him yet. Brock Whitehead currently in third. Trey is now recovered back into fourth. Trey looks like he might be struggling through 3 and 4. He said he had good short run speed, but it was not great on the long run. He needed any advantage he could get here. Meanwhile, Harley Barletta has James Harris to the inside. James can't do anything with him yet, but Harley knows he's there now. I expect to see that story play out all season long between those two drivers. Now Harley opening up just a little bit of a gap. Brock Whitehead in third has Trey right on the back bumper. Eli Childs, Russ Kilgore also right there. William Mann Jr. currently in 6th. Christian Wilcox in 7th. Brandon McLaughlin. Wilcox is in 8th. Brandon in 9th. Fornshell now to 9th. And Brandon McLaughlin drops back to 10th. A fourth of the way through this race already. Harley Barletta out front. Early leader and pole sitter Trey Whitehead in 4th, looking for a way around Brock. Eli Childs and Russ Kilgore, the two guys that have came through the field the most. 5th and 6th. Robert Nguyen, I guarantee you, is playing a strategy move here. He is saving his tires. He is saving his fuel. We've seen him do this before. He can make tires and fuel last longer than anybody else. James Harris now looking to the bottom through 3 and 4. Can't get there yet. Last time by, Harris was the fastest car on track. Now he looks to the inside again. They almost touch. Harley Barletta's trying to hold him down. James is going to send it into turn 1 on the bottom. He sends it in there hard. Harley on the high side manages to hold him off. James had to back out to make sure he didn't hit Barletta. He's going to try it again. Brock Whitehead in 3rd, Trey Whitehead in 4th, Eli Childs in 5th. Off of turn 2, I think Trey might have gotten the wall there, but he has kept the momentum, dropping to the bottom, and he's going to come around Brock out of turn 4. Drifts up, can't clear Brock yet. Side by side down the front straightaway. Into turn 1, he gets the position. Eli Childs now looking underneath Brock for 4th. Harley Barletta still holding on to the lead, but James Harris definitely hounding him a lot now. And the battle for 3rd, a 3-car battle between Trey Whitehead, Brock Whitehead, and Eli Childs. Harley Barletta still managing to hold James Harris off, but for how much longer? James Harris continuing to match or beat Harley's speed every lap. Harley Barletta still holding James Harris off. Back behind, the battle for 4th place is Brock Whitehead on the inside of Eli Childs. Brock drifts up a little bit in 3 and 4. Has to get out of it to make sure he doesn't hit Eli. Eli carries the momentum off of 4. Brock's going to try again in 1 and 2. can't get there. Eli clears him, and now Russ Kilgore back with this group. William Mann lurking in 7th place. Fornshell, after the earlier incident, back to 8th place. Christian Wilcox currently running in 9th. Brandon McLaughlin in 10th. Josh Cadill in 11th. Stephen Pless in 12th. Garth Snyder in 13th. And now Robert Nguyen starting to crank it up. He pitted on lap number 9. He is one of the cars that pitted on lap 9. He is the master of saving fuel and tires, making that car last longer than anybody. He's taking that Metallica car now up to 13th and making his way forward. He has a 2.3 second gap to Stephen Pless. Expect that to start shrinking very quickly. And now Trey Whitehead, who said he didn't have a lot of long run speed, is now back up into the top 3 and battling for 2nd place. Trey sends it into 3 and 4 and just dives it under James Harris, comes up, clears him, and now back to 2nd place for Trey Whitehead. Now he has to run down Harley Barletta. Eli Childs has cleared, or is managing to hold on to 4th place right now. Brock Whitehead all over the back bumper. William Mann losing a little bit of ground to those two, and Russ Kilgore all over his back bumper. Russ actually starting to lose a little bit of momentum here. Harley Barletta opening up a small half-second lead here as we approach halfway, but Trey Whitehead is working on closing that gap down. Harley Barletta continuing to lead. William Mann now has Kilgore all over the back bumper. Robert Nguyen in 13th place. We're watching him closely. He is 2.6 seconds behind this battle for 11th place. Josh Cadill in 11th in the 24. The 69 of Stephen Pless in 12th. Brandon McLaughlin all alone for the moment in 10th place. Christian Wilcox in 9th. Fornshell 8th. Kilgore in 7th. William Mann in 6th. Brock Whitehead in 5th. All over the back bumper of Eli Childs. And now James Harris starting to fade just a little bit. Let's take a ride around with Brock Whitehead as they go off into turn 1 and 2. You can see the downhill slope as you go down there. Makes the car get a little bit loose as Eli looking to the inside of James Harris off too. And it looks like Brock driving it into turn 3 a little too hard. He has to catch it coming up off of turn 4 and loses a lot of ground on that lap. Meanwhile, James Harris, Eli Childs battling side by side off of turn number 2. It looks like it's going to be Eli to 3rd. Trey Whitehead currently running in 2nd, right back to the back bumper of Harley Barletta. Last time by, equal speeds, equal lap times. Closing in on halfway, Trey Whitehead sends it into turn 1 on the bottom, looking to the inside of Harley Barletta. Eli Childs back in 3rd. 4th is Brock Whitehead. 5th is James Harris. Now James looking back to the bottom. James coming to pit road. James Harris, the first car to come to pit road under green flag. Now, will we start to see the leaders duck down pit road? Harley Barletta is not looking for pit road, neither is Trey Whitehead. Eli Child stays out. Brock stays out. William Mann, everybody else seems to be staying. Christian Wilcox comes to pit road. Garth Snyder has come to pit road. Up front, Harley and Trey continuing to battle. Brock Whitehead now on pit road. They've lost about 0.8 of a second on this run. Josh Cadill in the 24 now on pit road. And the two leaders on the pit road. A little wiggle out of Harley Barletta as he gets on the brakes. Eli Child's on the brakes. He's going to the pit road. William Mann Jr. is going to stay out. Will he be able to lead this lap? He does. Now Fornshell and Kilgore also staying out. Just at the halfway point. William Mann to the lead for the first time tonight. Fornshell in second, Kilgore third, Stephen Pless fourth. Robert Nguyen, who pitted on the last caution, now in fifth. Derek Nguyen in sixth. And don't be surprised to see Robert Nguyen go further than anybody else here tonight on fuel. Harley Barletta, Trey Whitehead, James Harris, Eli Childs all coming up off pit road, as has Christian Wilcox, Josh Cadill, and Garth Snyder. And now we've got a battle for the lead as Richard Fornshell looking to the bottom. Caution! Off into turn 3, Harley Barletta sends it. Oh, and him and Trey Whitehead both snap loose. Trey Whitehead and Harley Barletta, the two dominant cars so far in this race, just snapped loose. They're also trapped a lap down at the moment. And William Mann to the lead. Russ Kilgore was on pit road when the caution came out. He'll come out, should still be on the lead lap. William Mann is going to come to pit road. Fornshell in second, Stephen Pless third, Robert Nguyen in fourth. All the lead lap cars coming to pit road. No, Robert Nguyen, is he not going to come to pit road here? Apparently not. All right, William Mann to the lead for the first time tonight. Hey, William, it's Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir. How's it going, bud?
Hey, man, a brilliant stroke of luck there, trapping a bunch of cars down the lap and getting an easy pit stop here.
Yeah, man. I was actually thinking about coming to the pits the next 5 laps, and then those two guys got together racing hard, so I kind of got a little bit of luck there.
Well, it was definitely an interesting situation, and now it looks like you're going to come off pit road and still have the lead. Are you going to be able to hold everybody off?
I'm going to do my dangest to do so. I know James is pretty fast, but I got a little bit fresher tires. Might be able to hold them off and click some laps away. Let's see how it works out.
All right, buddy. Good luck, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, William Mann Jr. is going to start on the front row, start in first. Fornshell in second, Harris in third, Stephen Pless in fourth. And remember, James Harris did stop on lap 47. Everybody else stopping on lap 54. Christian Wilcox, another one that stopped under green. He is in 8th place. He did not come to pit road. Harley Barletta will be the last car up off pit road. That's going to put him back in about 13th place. Robert Nguyen just now coming off pit road. He is going to, we'll have to wait for scoring. It's currently showing him in 5th place with them trapping several cars a lap down. They will have some guys getting waved around past the pace car here in a moment once they get 1 to green. Should be getting 1 to green this time, and we should see all the guys in front of William Mann get waved around to the back of the field. Trey Whitehead, Harley Barletta, both being scored 1 lap down. I don't think they're going to get waved around here. Have to wait and see. Garth Snyder also being scored a lap down, as is Brock Whitehead. All right, lights are out on the pace car. They are going to stack back up side by side, get ready to go green. Have just over 40 laps to go from Richmond. Fornshell and Mann on the front row. Pace car is in. I think they delayed the green 1 time. Yes, they have delayed the green for 1 lap, so the pace car will come back out as they try and get everybody sorted back out here. Looks like a bit of confusion on the pace lap, trying to get everybody sorted back out correctly. Lights are out on the pace car. Now the pace car is going to drop back in, and William Mann and Richard Fornshell. Green flag in the air. William Mann is down and away. Fornshell slots in behind him in second. The battle is on behind him, though, as Robert Nguyen, currently running in 4th place, is Harley Barletta is coming past, trying to get back up and reclaim his lap. And it looks like Kilgore's going to follow him through. Kilgore's marching his way forward. He's now up to 4th, but Stephen Pless in the 69 car is trying to take 2nd place from, trying to close in on Fornshell. They have the lap car of Trey Whitehead right in front of him. William Mann continuing to lead, 62 laps done. Last time by Trey Whitehead, a lap down. We've got a caution. Harley Barletta involved. And Harley getting a little bit loose off of turn number 2. He manages to keep it off the wall. Might have gotten a little bit of a tap from the 2 car of Russ Kilgore. William Mann continuing to lead. Fornshell in second. Russ Kilgore has marched his way to the front in up to 3rd. Eli Childs now in 4th, Pless in 5th. And Russ Kilgore is definitely on a mission here tonight. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Russ is available in the communications. He is not on the radio, so we can't talk to Russ, but heck of a run out of William Mann Jr. in the lead. Look, I'm not sure what William was doing there. Eli Childs now up to fourth, second biggest mover. No, third biggest, as Stephen Pless is now up to fifth after starting in 14th. So he is the second biggest mover of the race. Eli Childs third, up from 11th to 4th. But Russ Kilgore has put on a charge from the back tonight. And a great strategy on that restart. He got right behind Harley Barletta. Harley, trying to unlap himself, was charging through the field. And Russ was able to follow him through, pick up several positions. Josh Cadill comes to pit road this time. He is on his way back up off pit road, so he will have the freshest tires on the track. And it looks like there might be a bit of a glitch. We'll have to see if the drivers are seeing that as well. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air. Hopefully this clears up here in just a moment. Looks like whatever it was has smoothed out. Caution is out though. And I do not see any indicator of an accident. We'll have to wait and see if we can get word from one of the admins. I'm not sure what happened there, but I do not see where any cars were involved in an incident. I'm looking through the field to see if anybody is damaged. Nobody dropping onto pit road at the moment. Brock Whitehead comes to pit road, but he has no damage to his car. Harley Barletta gets the wave around due to the caution. I'm going to take a stab and say that was a glitch that everybody saw, and they threw the caution to avoid chaos. Lights are back out on the pace car. Harley Barletta is now back to the lead lap. Garth Snyder and Brock Whitehead both 2 laps down. At the moment, 13 cars on the lead lap. All right, pace car is pulling off. Green flag back in the air. William Mann Jr. down and away, and he clears Russ Kilgore again, but Kilgore now up to second, and I doubt he is going to be satisfied with the charge he has had through the field. I guarantee he is not staying in second very long. As Trey Whitehead now back on the lead lap, was looking to make it 3 wide into 3, didn't, backed out of it before he got there. It is a mess back behind. James Harris in that mess. Josh Cadill on the high side. Trey Whitehead there in the 33. Brandon McLaughlin has managed to work his way back up to 5th. Fornshell in 4th. Eli in 3rd. And Full Bore Kilgore up to 2nd place. Oh, Kilgore in the wall hard on the back straightaway. No caution. He keeps it going the right way. But he is going to have to go to pit road. That might have ended his race. After an amazing charge from the back of the field, up to 2nd place, hits the wall, and catastrophe. Now, William Mann out front, Fornshell in 2nd, is being hounded by Eli Childs in 3rd. Brandon McLaughlin in 4th, 5th place is James Harris. Stephen Pless in 6th, and here comes Trey Whitehead in 7th. Underneath Pless for 6th. Pushes up a little bit off turn 2, trying to hold on to it. Now back to the bottom. Oh! Trey gets loose off turn 4, loses all the ground he had made up. Harley Barletta now back up to 11th after getting back on the lead lap. He restarted in 13th. He is trying to pick up any positions he can. 25 laps to go. William Mann Jr., though, continuing to lead. He said he might be able to hold him off. He had to wait and see. Fornshell in 2nd. Eli Childs in 3rd. William Mann needs this race to stay green. He needs those cars behind him to start battling. They are closing on him. Brock Whitehead came to pit road for a moment. And getting word from Aaron Hillebush that there is some sort of glitch as he started seeing glitches from his end with other stuff as well. So it might be an overall internet glitch. Brandon McLaughlin has made his way up to 4th now, getting past James Harris. Eli Childs still holds on to 3rd. William Mann, 22 laps to go. Fornshell looks to the inside down the back straightaway. Off into turn 3. Fornshell on the bottom. William Mann on the top. Oh, Fornshell gets loose off of 4, loses everything he gained. Eli Childs comes on the high side now. That is exactly what William Mann wanted to see in his mirror. Now Eli Childs couldn't make the pass on the high side. Will he look to the bottom here? Fornshell moves up half a lane on exit, trying to keep from getting loose again. James Harris starting to look underneath this 6 car for... Oh, a little wiggle out of McLaughlin. James Harris to the bottom in 3. He's going to bring Trey Whitehead with him. Oh, McLaughlin in the wall. He was all the way up to 4th. Got caught in the safer barrier. Lost a ton of momentum. William Mann now has Fornshell back to the inside for the lead, though. Fornshell has to be extremely careful getting up off turn 4 so he doesn't slip again. He hangs on to it. Eli Childs tapped the wall coming off of 4. Now Fornshell is going to dive it back in through 1 and 2. Eli's going to try and follow him through. William Mann on the high side trying to hold him off. Side by side through 3 and 4. William Mann has the advantage, more room to run. Up off of turn 4, still in the lead, 17 laps to go. Fornshell wearing him down off into turn 1. He drives it in deep. And it's going to be Fornshell for the... No! William Mann manages to fight back on the outside, gets back even with him. It looked like Fornshell had him cleared, but William Mann sends it off of turn 2. Fornshell now clears him into 1 and 2. William Mann drops down, manages to stop the run by Eli Childs, now right in the tire tracks. Eli looking to the inside in 3. Trey Whitehead right with him. Trey has more track to work with and gets up to the high side. And now Eli might clear William off of turn number 2. It's going to be close. Oh! Trey sends it into 3 on the bottom. They're going to be 3 wide in 3. Everybody manages to keep it going the right way. I think William might have grazed the wall out of 4. What a gutsy move by Trey Whitehead, diving in the bottom, making it 3 wide here. And Richard Fornshell, meanwhile, is running away. He's got almost a half-second lead now while these guys battle. Eli managing to clear everybody that lap. And the battle is on for third. Trey Whitehead on the bottom. William Mann on the top. Now Trey Whitehead finally clears William. William dives to the inside. He's going to try a crossover. Off of turn number 2. They're even again. William Mann drifting it up off of turn number 4. He is sending it. Forces Trey to go up high. Off into 1 and 2 again. James Harris has got to be loving the show in front of him, but probably wanting to get by it before something catastrophic happens here. Now James Harris starts to look to the outside on William Mann. Nothing yet. 10 laps to go for Fornshell. Can Eli Childs get to him, and can he pass him? Trey Whitehead now has William Mann looking to the bottom again. Off of turn number 2. Oh, William gets loose off of 2. James Harris is going to get by him on the high side. Caution. Trying to see what this caution was for. And it looks like all the cars are clean, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, everybody on pit road. No, not everybody. Robert Nguyen in the Metallica car stays out. Robert Nguyen to the lead. Everybody else is on pit road. Brock Whitehead, Russ Kilgore out of the race. First car off of pit road will be James Harris. James taking right side tires only. Fornshell comes off in third place, 4 tires. Stephen Plass comes off in 4th with 2 tires. Trey Whitehead, Eli Childs both taking 4 tires. Christian Wilcox, Harley Barletta taking right sides only. William Mann, Josh Cadill, Brandon McLaughlin, and Derek Nguyen, Garth Snyder all taking 4 tires. And Robert Nguyen staying out on old tires. That is a gutsy call right there. No, Robert Nguyen, is he going to go to pit road or is he faking? And he does come to pit road. That gives the lead back to James Harris with Fornshell in second. Hey, Fornshell, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, you and William had one heck of a battle there, but now you have to go at it with James. Are you going to be able to get back past him?
It's going to be interesting to see. I'm pretty sure he took 2, so
I can confirm.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I said I can confirm he has 2 tires.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to how does that actually work for him. But I think even if it works out well for him, I think I should be able to get around. We'll just have to see.
Well, we saw you have some problems trying to get by William on the bottom. You got loose coming out of turn 4. Have you got a strategy to make sure that does not happen again?
Yeah, I just got a little bit too greedy there. Came a little bit too fast on the throttle and had to catch it. Thankfully, I didn't end up losing any more positions off that like I did earlier when I did the same thing.
Well, you've had a great recovery tonight. You're going to restart in second. Good luck, man.
Thanks, man. Take care.
All right. Fornshell on the high side with 4 tires. James Harris on the bottom with 2 tires. A mix of 2 and 4 tires throughout the field. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. Pace car is in. And James Harris sends it the second the pace car goes in. Green flag in the air, 4 laps to go. James Harris wants another win badly after being unable to race for over 3 weeks due to multiple back surgeries. He is back out here. He won at Daytona last week. Caution! Let's try and figure out what happened there. I have a small guess. No cars were injured in that caution. Oh no, there was. Robert Nguyen. Robert Nguyen way loose through 1 and 2. Managed to almost save it. Derek Nguyen gets there. I'm not sure if they even made contact, but Robert went around. It was enough of a spin to trigger the caution. And now it will be a green-white checkered restart. And we're going to be holding our breath on this one. All right. James Harris out front, 2 tires. Richard Fornshell, Trey Whitehead, second and third with 4 tires. Stephen Pless in 4th with 2 tires. Eli Childs in 5th with 4. Christian Wilcox in 6th, 2 tires. William Mann in 7th with 4. Harley Barletta in 8th with right sides only. And Josh Cadill, Brandon McLaughlin, Derek Nguyen, Robert Nguyen all have 4 tires, as does Garth Snyder. They'll get the 1 to green this time by. James Harris has to have another amazing restart this time and then hold off Fornshell and Whitehead to try and pull off his 2nd win in a row here. James needs everything to go right to be able to beat those 4 tires that Richard Fornshell has. Lights are out on the pace car. Remember, at Richmond, the start-finish line in a weird position. It is not at the center of the front straightaway. You see that red line on the map. That is where it is. So it is just before the center of the front straightaway. That might come into play here tonight. In fact, I'd almost bet it does. Pace car is in. James Harris is away again. He gets the quick restart. 2 laps to go at the line, but Fornshell predicted it and stayed with him. Off into turn number 1. Trey Whitehead right there on the back bumper. Trey gets way loose coming through 1 and 2. Manages to hold on to it. There's a car spinning behind. William Mann out of it. White flag in the air for James Harris. Can he hold Fornshell off? Off through 1 and 2. There's a battle behind Trey Whitehead. Eli Childs looking to the inside. Does Fornshell send it in there this time? Off of turn number 4. James Harris does it. He wins 2 weeks in a row. Fornshell comes home second. Trey Whitehead third. Eli Childs fourth. Christian Wilcox is 5th, and they celebrate in the turn. Let's see what happened to William Mann on the final lap. Oh, it looks like he just got a little bit loose and went off, pushing that car too hard off of turn number 2. All right, James Harris pulls off the win and getting a lot of love there on the front straightaway. Hey, James, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Dougie.
Hey, buddy. Congrats, man. That was one heck of actually 2 amazing restarts there and a heck of a win.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see myself getting the win after being stuck in the back, getting caught down a lap after pitting there. But when we come for that last pit stop, I was like, I'm going to try 2 tires, see what happens. And we lucked out and got back-to-back wins.
Well, that's got to be a comforting feeling after not being able to race for so long, coming in here into a new series and winning the first 2 races.
It's a hell of a feeling, winning 2 in a row. Hopefully we can continue this momentum in this series and into Cup and our other truck series, and I'm having a blast right now.
Well, congratulations, man. Go celebrate. Don't forget to thank your wife.
I sure will. I thank my wife. She was fantastic. While I was on my ass from those surgeries, she did everything around the house, cooking, cleaning, and now that I'm more mobile, I'm able to help out a lot more, and I feel more useful around the house.
I'm sure you do, buddy. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, James Harris, let's see if we can get a quick word with Fornshell. Hey, Fornshell, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you.
Hey, man, a hard-fought second place there at the end. Not only were you trying to get past James, but you had a hard charge from behind from Trey.
Yeah, I mean, I was really bummed that caution came out with, what was it, like, because I felt like that didn't come out. I definitely had that one, but it did. James made the right call. He went with 2, and well, we didn't get any more than 2 laps after that, so it's hard to catch up to the guy who gets to jump in 2 laps.
Well, you definitely gave it one heck of an effort, man. Congratulations, another great finish.
Thanks, man. Take care.
All right, that will be all for tonight. Tomorrow night we will have a special event as it's the Outlaws off week. And Tuesday night, XCal returns. Don't forget to tune in for that as well. Wednesday night, Outlaw Cup and Limited Late Models, the final race of that season. And Thursday night, we do have the charity event again. If you're on iRacing, you are welcome to join. Check out the information. It's all on the Facebook page. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did, and we will see you tomorrow night.